One of the things I love most about Sea of Thieves is the ever-expanding world that we get to discover. The lost secrets to dig up, the treasures to turn in, and of course, that satisfying feeling from sinking a rival ship after an hour of intense battle. But we're approaching 5 years of this game being out. What's next? Well, I happen to have a pretty good idea as to what's coming next. We are going to war. Since the game first came out, the feud between the Pirate Lord and Captain Flameheart has been going strong. A classic bout between good and evil. However, things are heating up in the Sea of Thieves. We are currently on the verge of going to war, and Season 8 will be the biggest season yet in progressing this story forward. How do I know? Allow me to explain. So far in Season 7, we've been given the opportunity to captain our own ships. We got introduced to the Sovereigns, and we have officially rescued Merrick from the Dark Brethren. It appears that we are going to be going back to the Sunken Kingdom in the next adventure. But that doesn't really give us any hints to what's coming in Season 8. Or does it? You see, it only feels natural that the next step in this story that is being told is an epic battle between both factions. All these adventures that we've had so far have definitely been building to something. We've had 6 adventures added to the game so far, and the mystery has officially entered its 2nd chapter. But is that enough? No. People will eventually get bored of the game if something substantial and exciting isn't added soon enough. In the past, we've had the anniversary update and A Pirate's Life to fill that need. It's only natural with a live service game to constantly expect something new. And unfortunately, with this current model of adventures being released every month and the mystery slowly getting more information, things will quickly get redundant and will drive players away from the game. Look at the biggest live service games out there. Fortnite has these major, giant live events that incorporate the current pop culture into their story through crossovers and various events. I'm not saying Goku needs to come to Sea of Thieves for it to be exciting, but with the way things are trending for Sea of Thieves, the smartest business move is to make the next season bigger and more higher stakes than we've ever seen. Recently, there have actually been some leaks of new captaincy milestones being added. One called the Protector, and one called the Servant. These were actually leaked out in the same update that added foxes. Kinda like when the name crests were seen on the sloop and brigantine before the launch of captaincy. I personally believe that Lost Sands, the 4th adventure in Sea of Thieves, was only a mere beta test as for what was coming later in the game. A potential worldwide battle between the followers of Athena's fortune and the servants of the Reaper's Bones, to decide the fate of not just Golden Sands Outpost, the entirety of the Sea of Thieves. Here's how I personally think Season 8 could work, if it truly is a worldwide war of the Sea of Thieves. A quick disclaimer before I continue this video. This is all speculation, and none of this is confirmed. So as cool as some of these ideas may sound, none of it might actually be true. But it's always fun to speculate on what could possibly be added to Sea of Thieves. When you spawn in for the first time during Season 8, you will first be approached by the Pirate Lord, where he will hastily fill you in on all of the details of the current situation. And of course, he encourages us to stand with him to protect the life we hold dear. As we walk out to our ship, the Servant of the Flame leaps out from the bushes and stops us in our tracks. He tells us of the Pirates Lord's lies, and that the true path to freedom lies beyond the flame. Both of these characters give us a choice. We can side with the Pirate Lord to protect the seas, or side with the Reapers to serve Flameheart and fully resurrect him. You see where these new milestones make sense now? Once we have boarded our ship, we will be prompted to head to our flag box, where we can once and for all choose our side. If it is a captain ship, your decision will be final, and that ship will be aligned to that side of the fight for the entire season. With the faction war fully underway, it has become a battle for control of the outposts. For selling treasure to an outpost after your allegiance has been pledged, you will begin to slowly sway the pendulum of war in your favor. If your side is winning, there will be a small bump in the amount of gold and reputation you earn from turning in treasure. With each piece of treasure that is sold, the outpost will begin to change throughout the season, depending on what faction is currently winning. Now you may be asking yourself, what kind of changes could be made to the outposts? I mean, there's really not much you can change besides Daggertooth being easier to sell at. Let's say, for example, Athena's Fortune is winning. The outpost will now be decorated with ancient statues and ghostly-looking fortifications. There will be ghostly cannons positioned all across the outpost. It'll look like an ancient fort, as you can see here by this rough concept that I've come up with. Now let's say the Reaper's Bones is winning. The outpost will now become an ashen fort. Just like the Athena's Fortune version, the outpost will now have cannons positioned all across the outpost. But instead of ghostly, ancient-looking fortifications, the terrain will now turn ashen, and there will be a giant totem in the middle to sacrifice the outpost's spectral energy to resurrect Flameheart. Each side will have new cosmetics to earn for our ships that come along with those new milestones, a way to show what side of the war that we're on, which can lead to some pretty interesting PvP encounters, not gonna lie. Now, just imagine this, sailing across the seas and selling at a Reaper's claimed outpost as a protector of Athena's Fortune. And as you sell your loot, over time, you will watch that outpost become fortified, working together with other protectors as the loot we sell is used to destroy those sacrificial totems that the Reapers are making, and building the ancient statues to block the Reapers' power that they need to resurrect Flameheart. A true faction war, with the winner of the war being announced at the end of the season through a form of live event, where we see a huge, worldwide cinematic display of Flameheart's resurrection. And depending on how many outposts the Athena's Fortune protectors and the Reaper's Bones servants have captured, that will determine if Flameheart is resurrected in this world event. I'm getting excited just thinking about this, and this is only a concept. Now obviously, that's not all that would be added in Season 8. Perhaps we can see the triumphant return of the Flameheart event because of this faction war. Maybe they can add in some new voice lines that correspond to the current state of the war or something. Or even one final tall tale to wrap up the Flameheart saga. The one that we've been waiting for since Heart of Fire. But either way, this kind of live event where players have total control over the outcome is honestly a great way to get people back into the game and pick the side that they support. Now, like I said, this is all pure speculation. This is just what I personally think would be a cool faction war style event. If you have your own thoughts about what Season 8 could bring to the table, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving this video a like, and consider subscribing with notifications on to always be here when I upload a new video. And as always, I will see you out on the seas.